Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another really cool pinball video for you this evening. We've been working on, seems like forever, this Bally 4 million BC pinball machine, and I'm finally going to do a final video on it where we actually play it a little bit. We played it a little bit while we were testing it on the other videos, but today we're going to see if I can get a couple thousand points on it. And we're going to talk a little bit about how cool the game is, show you how it all looks, and then play it at the end. This came out in 1971 and is considered one of Bally's better electromechanicals. Let's see if we can figure out why. Now this one, while we were working on it, a customer brought us this to work on. While we were working on it, we figured out that it at one point may have been in Belgium because it had a Belgium franc in it, a franc. That we found underneath the mech board underneath it, and then also it advertises it on the front on the coin door. But at some point in its life it was painted a little bit, and I don't know why they would have done it because everything seems to be in pretty good shape, but they added this red paint all over the place that it didn't originally have, but they did a really good job on it, so it looks pretty nice actually. And then they put the speckle paint on it, you know, they put the splatter paint on it. So it looks nice and clean, and if you didn't really know, I think to some people they might not even notice it. And they chose a color that kind of matches what's going on the backglass. Whoever did it, they did a fine job. But yeah, so normally it would have just been more green. Your eyes would not be seeing any of this red right now. Just the green. So on the side here, I don't remember all my dinosaurs. I almost said dinosaurus. I don't remember all my dinosaurs, but I believe this is a brontosaurus, isn't it? You can tell that because it's got the big long neck. And then I think this was a stegosaurus. What was that one called? A rhinoceros? It looks like a rhinoceros. I can't remember what that one was called. And then the Tyrannosaurus Rex. What was that one called? So it's Brontosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, Stegosaurus. That was the other big one, right? So anyway, so they've got that, and they've got the little tropical plants, because this is from 4 million BC. That's the name of the game, 4 million BC. Now the backglass on this particular cabinet is in perfect shape. And it appears to be original. We took it out, it looks amazing. So the spots that look a little faded, it's not, it's just the lights lighting them up. Here in person it doesn't really look like that, but on the camera it does. Just to give you the effect, let me see if I can darken it up so you can see it about how it looks to me. Yeah, that's kind of how it looks here to my naked eye. So it's a 5 reel game, or there's actually 4 reels and a dummy reel, but we're not up to the 100,000 points yet or anything on these. And it has this kind of older looking kind of tweed frame around it, right? Somebody was saying, oh man, that's kind of plain because they did the plastics like that too. I think sometimes they did that on purpose so that they didn't want to draw your attention to it. So they kind of wanted parts of it to be a little more plain. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see whenever we look at the playfield. But on the backglass there is this fight going on between the T-Rex and whatever that other one is. And it's pretty bloody. And they say that there was a movie called 1 million BC that I was informed had Raquel Welch in it. And there's a fight in the movie where these two do just this. And so they kind of ripped that off. This came out in 71, and that movie came out just a couple years before that. So it says 4 million BC, and it kind of has like a wood grain behind it there. And then the kind of, is that tweed? Whatever that look is. Almost has like a, I guess they're trying to make it look kind of like a hut. So you've got the cavemen over here. And I guess this is kind of like how the thatched door of a, like how huts used to look, you know? You've got the little bamboo things all around it. So, and maybe that's what they were going for. But in the background, you see a volcano. And I don't see the tar pit on the back box, but maybe that's what this is. But pretty cool. Looks good. They even have the pterodactyls in there. All right, and so then we get down here to the playfield. Really cool art. Look at this little guy over here. It's kind of crazy how they did the smoke. Look, the smoke comes out of here and out of here and makes the path. There's the tar pit. So this game, the design of it is just super creative because it was designed by what I would consider a genius pinball designer, Ted Zale. Now, Mr. Zale didn't necessarily make, he wasn't necessarily the best designer of all time. I'm not saying that. We all know that's Steve Ritchie. Or Pat Lawler, or whoever you want to say it is. But he made some really creative stuff, man. I mean, this guy, Ted Zale, came up with, he just didn't like normal stuff, man. He just thought outside the box, came up with stuff nobody else ever thought of, and this game is one of those games. So, the first thing is, the most... well, there's two things on it that really make it stand out. It uses his zipper flippers that he invented. The flippers will move. They close up. So they originally called them the flipper zippers. But everybody called them zipper flipper. It just sounds better. If you played Fireball, it was probably maybe his most popular game. Fireball has zipper flippers. And... That's one thing about it. And then another thing is, this is a multi-ball game. So you can play up to 3 balls at the same time. So as you can see right now, there is one actually sitting over here in the volcano. That holds over from game to game. So you can lock a ball in that saucer and then release it by hitting this bumper. You could also lock a ball in the tar pit and release it by hitting this bumper until it walks down this little ball walker thing over here. You have to do it 3 times and it'll release it. So if you hit that bumper 3 times, it releases it. It also has a ramp up here at the top on a wooden playfield. So they just bent the wood. They got it wet, I guess, and bent the wood. And so that they cut it out and just bent it up and made it a ramp. So over here it's about 1.5 inches higher than it is over there. They didn't have to do that. But he liked making things weird, just how he was. Very creative pinball designer. So we'll look over how he did this one, and then we'll look at some of his other designs. What do you think? I've had several of his machines over the years, and then I'll grab some pictures off the internet and show you some more. But yeah, let's read the instructions. Did you know pinball machines have instructions? They do. And if you read them, it makes them more fun to play. All right. 1 to 4 can play, it says. Insert coin and wait for machine to reset. Insert coins for additional players. Shoot ball to increase ramp value by actuating bird switch and returning down ramp. So the plunge shot goes across the playfield, back over here, and then up this ramp. And there are 3 switches on the ramp. Blue, green, and red. Well, as you roll over this one, it changes the pop bumper from blue, which is 10 points, to lit, which is 1,000 points. And then the green one from, same thing, it lights it up, which makes it 1,000. Red one lights it up, which makes it 1,000. Now, originally, those were 100. But at some point in this game's life, somebody has rewired the 3 pop bumper, thumper bumper light relays to make it where they switch over to 1,000. So that it's either 10 if they're off or 1,000 if they're on, which makes this game score a ton more points than normal. So somebody has really souped this thing up. You can see the last time I played it, I got 89,000 points, and I'm not really that good. So, you know. So normally on yours, if you find one, that's probably going to say 100. On the flyer it says 100, and the alterations to make it 1,000, we documented in one of our earlier videos. Clearly somebody did that later. It wasn't done at the factory. But it's kind of interesting the way they did it, and we left it because it's been like that for a long time, and who are we to say it's wrong? But this one's going to score really high because of that. Okay. But the way that that skill shot works is the ball comes across, and then if you roll over the 3, you get 100 points as you roll over them, and it lights up the pop bumpers. Then if you hit this pterodactyl switch, it lights this light that says 3,000. If you go farther, you fall off the cliff, and all you get is the 10 points. So if you do like a full plunge, it just goes, and you get 10 points. But if you do it just right, it goes up, 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 click, and you're on the edge, and then you roll back down, and as you hit each switch, you get 1,000 points instead of the original 100 points. But you have to hit the pterodactyl switch to make it do that. So it's just a really neat kind of idea to do a skill shot. Now, an interesting feature too is if you can hit either one of these, if you roll over them, which happens all the time because they're right in the middle of the playfield, it says open gate and off kicker. And on the right it says open gate and off kicker. So it turns off the kicker. See the light? There is a ball save kicker right here. It turns that off and it opens the gate. Well, if the gate is open, the ball can go back down in there from time to time. You don't score any points by doing that. All it does is it tees you up to do the skill shot again, because there's no way to make that shot up the ramp with the flippers. You have to do it with the plunge. So by opening the gate, you basically give yourself the opportunity to do the 3,000 point thing again. Now on this particular one, because of the way the pop bumpers are set up, not quite as important, but interesting. Shoot ball into volcano pocket and collect indicated score by erupting volcano. So we did a whole video on this volcano thing because it was messing up. So basically when the ball lands in there, it starts these lights moving. They're not moving right now because the game's over. And it'll stay like that for the next player. So whenever we start a game, that will sit there. So you got the potential for multi-ball right off the bat. A lot of companies would do that. They'd leave things that held over from game to game, because if you walk up and that's sitting there, you might drop a dime in, or a quarter, or a half franc. And so once it's in there and this thing is moving, if you hit this, it stops the light and kicks the ball out. So now you've got 2 balls, and you score whatever it says, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000. It also, whenever you hit that switch, you get 100 points, and it closes the flippers. So the zipper flippers will close, where when that ball pops out, you can't lose it. Very cool design. Very thoughtful of them. They wanted to make sure they made it real fun. The flippers can open and close depending on if you hit this 100 close flippers, 100 open flippers, 100 open flippers, 100 close flippers. So as you hit those, you will move the flippers back and forth. And you'll see that later because it does it a lot while you're playing. Okay, and then it says, shoot ball into tar pit and collect scores on indicated bumper. So if you knock the ball up into here, this is the tar pit. And you see this weird kind of thing that he's kind of built up here in the corner? Mr. Ted Zale again. The ball goes through that gate, but it can't come back through the gate because there's a wire on there, which means it has to fall over here. Well, depending on where that little metal post is, it can move either way. It either falls down in here or it drains back out onto the playfield. right? So that will open if there's no ball in here. And so that'll open and the ball falls down in here. Well, there's these little metal pieces here that hold the ball in place. And so it will catch it and hold it right there. Okay? When it does that, since it hit that switch, it will light this up that says 1,000 when lit, advances ball and tar pit. So whenever you hit this mushroom bumper, and these mushroom bumpers are like pop bumpers, except instead of popping the ball from the top to kick it back out, the ball pushes up the plastic top, and which closes a switch under the playfield. So then whenever you hit that, you get 1,000 points, and this ball walker, I call it a ball walker, I don't know if it's called that, but I think the one on Flight 2000 is called that, and I've had some of those. Actually, I've got one right now. So if you hit that once, it moves it, and now the ball's down here, and then you do it again, and it moves it, and now the ball's down here, and then the next time you do it, the ball comes down and out the gate. And the reason they're saying scores as lit is because it lights up the 1,000 when lit whenever you do that. It says matching last number of score with number which lights on Backglass at the end of game scores 1 replay. So on this one, on the last game, 50 lit up. The end of my score was 50. I won a free game. So let me see if that covers everything. This particular game has Mylar rings around the pop bumpers. There must have been some wear there that they hid with those, but they look pretty good, so I just left it. You could peel those off and repaint that area if you wanted. But we're trying to get this thing up and running for the guy without charging him an arm and a leg for all the little stuff. There's some areas up here too that look kind of dark. Like this doesn't have lights, that doesn't have lights. It's just because of the way he designed stuff. He put so much stuff on the playfield and in, you know, mechanisms underneath it and everything that he had to lose some of the lights and some of the switches. You can even see a hole there. See that? That's a hole for a stand-up switch. There should be a switch in there like this one. But they had to drop that idea because there's a mech under there to make all of this work. So the guy would sacrifice normality for creative design, right? Mr. Ted Zale. So let me show you some of his other games that he made over the years, just so you can see. The guy a lot of times would not make things symmetrical. This one's nowhere near symmetrical, right? There's stuff going on over here that's just weird. This whole area up here, who would even think to do stuff like that, you know? Ted Zale would, that's who. Notice that the pops are twisted a little bit. There's just different shots and stuff. He puts rollovers right in the middle of the playfield. He makes flippers that move. Very creative guy. Came up with some really cool stuff. So let me, for just a few minutes, take you into the wild, crazy world of Ted Zale. I'll show you some of his other designs. And notice how some of them are symmetrical, but when they are, they're just crazy. And then some of them are just nowhere near symmetrical. He did things on a playfield that you wouldn't even think anybody would try. And to Bally's credit, they let him run with it. They would let him design whatever in the world he wanted to design, and then they'd build it and just see, you know, throw it at the wall and see if people liked it. So again, I'm not saying that he made the funnest machines of all time. This one's certainly fun. A lot of these were fun that I'm going to show you, but some of them may not be your cup of tea, but at least the guy wasn't boring. You can't say he made boring playfields. So let's see some of the other ones that he did. This is 4 million BC. So as you can see, the guy was just really creative. We've had Dixieland, Bandwagon, a ton of them. We've had a bunch of his games, 2 and 1, Big Day. We've had a bunch of them. They're not necessarily all super desirable, where they're real expensive if you find one. But if you wanted to have an interesting collection of machines, you might consider picking up a few Ted Zales, right? So let me get the tripod, I'll set it up, and we'll play this game a little bit, and I'll have to tell you the score, but keep in mind, on this particular one, it's going to score a lot higher because those pop bumpers will be set on 1,000 a lot of times, when on a normal 4 million BC, they would be set on 100. Okay, folks, so we're going to play one of Mr. Zale's creations, 4 million BC. I found an article about him online, and a gentleman was writing about him, and a lady replied down below and said that she was his niece, and that she can remember him from when she was little, and that he, when he got older, he got to where he couldn't hardly see anymore, and Bally basically wouldn't let him retire or take his pension. What he did was, he lived in Arkansas, and they built a shop behind his house that he could tinker in because he invented so much stuff. And they told him that they'd keep paying him, and all that they asked was that he'd come to the office a couple times a year and tell them about what he was working on and what ideas he had and some of the stuff that he was coming up with. Because the guy was just, he had brilliant ideas and machines. So for the rest of his life until he passed away, Bally paid him a full paycheck, and even though he got to the point where he couldn't see anymore. Pretty cool. And then in the same article, in the same comments, Steve Ritchie replied and said that whenever he was younger, he really looked up to Ted Zale, and he liked how the guy was very creative and just came up with crazy stuff that nobody else would think of. So let's see how crazy this one is. Hopefully it all works. I was supposed to fix it, so hopefully everything works right. So if you see something not work, make sure to yell real loud about it. Now you can see the volcano thing's already doing its thing because the ball has been stuck in there since the last game. So you don't want a full plunge, you just want the skill shot. Oh, a little bit too much. Saved by the kicker. But not that time. Oh, not quite enough. Sometimes, by the way, you can knock the volcano ball out. If you hit it just right, it'll pop out. Well, we got those pops working pretty good. All right, so by landing back in there, we get another skill shot. There we go. There's our zipper flipper zipping. Oh, and here's our multi-ball. I love the zipper flippers. I mean, I think it's just cool as hell. Oh, look at that. I wonder if Mr. Zale designed it like that. The zipper flippers you would think would just be like a gimmick where it would suck, but no, it's actually pretty cool. They work really well. And you saw that they're still powerful even when they're closed. So I've got 80,000 points, and I'm just starting ball 3. Wow. So the flippers, if you watch the previous videos, I put new coils on them. I usually don't do that because really new coils don't make flippers stronger, but the ones that were in there were all screwed up. They were messed up. They had the old brass flipper bushing that couldn't be removed. One of them was broke and the other one was just stuck. And then one of the flippers, the hold winding was messed up, which was going to cause you all kinds of problems. So I had to bite the bullet and put 2 new flipper coils on it, which allowed me to put new sleeves in it. He already had new flipper shoes for it we installed, and we tightened up a lot of the stuff on the zipper flippers to basically, since they move, there's a little play in them. So you got to get it where they're fairly tight, but you can't make them so tight that they bind and don't slide in and out well, you know. So it seems like we've got them pretty strong. For a 2-inch flipper, to be able to knock it all the way back to the back is about as good as they get. All right, so we're in our tar pit. So we've landed in the first position up there, and then the gate closes behind it because they don't want you getting 2 balls in there. You see the 3000 was still lit. Ooh. What is going on there? I'm watching that. There's something a little... I saw something I didn't necessarily like there. I'm watching the 10. Something might be going on there. All right, so we ended up with 99,740. Whenever the chimes stop working, the 10-point bell, I'm wondering if that's because it's not scoring our 10 points. Oh. Oh man, I messed myself up by hitting the, I opened the gate right as the ball was falling down in here, and it wasn't able to save it because of the... Okay. Oh. Now it's scoring. No, not quite enough. Back into the tar pit we go. Perfect. So like that. See now, since the tar pit was already full, it rolled past. Okay, possibly when this light comes on, these are not scoring 10 points. I'm not positive though, but we're watching. We're watching. I got my eye on you. Okay, we only got 54,000 that time, but I was paying attention to the slings. Oh, too much. Notice it held the... Oh, I forgot the flippers were open. Notice it held the tar pit over from game to game too. Not quite enough. Oh. Yeah, see that? All right. Okay, I'm gonna play it for real this time. I'm not gonna watch the slings. I'm gonna try to flip. I'm gonna try to flip instead. There we go. Yeah, it's scoring. It just did there. It's just sometimes you don't get the bell. So I'm wondering if you're not getting the bell is only on the 0 to 90 unit. So I wonder if sometimes. Awesome. That little crack you just heard was the free game, the knocker. Oh yeah, skill shot, baby. You see that? You like that backhand flip into the tar pit, didn't you? Oh, too far. Can you imagine I took it too far? What's the world coming to? Oh, come on. Come on now. Oh, got the unlucky bounce on that one. Oh, a little bit too far. I won another free game. Did you hear the crack? How unlucky. Oh, I was playing with my food. All right, 123,060. So every once in a while, it's hitting these. It seems like it's the kickers specifically. So whenever it hits those, you're supposed to score 10 points. So you see it's kicking the ball, so the switch is seeing it. What makes it score to 10 points is underneath, whenever the kicker goes out, it hits a switch underneath the playfield, which gives you the 10 points. I'm getting the 10 points, but sometimes you don't get the bell. So the 10 points makes the 0 to 90 unit turn, which is just, it basically is used for like the match and things like that. But if that doesn't turn, when you get to 10 points, you wouldn't get the bell, because that's the only way you get the bell is whenever that turns, there's a little thing that hits the bell. That's that bell that we added back in. So I'm going to keep watching it. What that could be is on the 10-point relay, there's probably a switch that turns the 0 to 90 unit. It could be that switch is a little bit too far gapped or something. See, like that time, there was no bell. It just went crack. You're just hearing the solenoid, you're not hearing the bell too. Boy, she's playing pretty good. Oh, I might have been able to save that. Ooh. Too far. It went too far. All right. Let's try one more. About knocked the ball out of the volcano. The hard way. Or would that be the easy way? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Potential 3-ball, multi-ball situation here, and we're on ball 1. There's a kill screen coming up. Oh, I missed it. Watch it. Here we go. Bam. One more. Gotcha, sucker. Oh, man. Oh, come on. How did I fail a zip flip? Got the lucky bounce. Oh, come on now. Back in the volcano you go. See how I wheeled it? Oh, close. All right, we need to do the triple multi-ball thing. Whoop. Oh, I was robbed. All right, that's the first one. Walked it down one. Let's see if we can get it in the volcano. There we go. Oh, nope, not quite. It's not as easy to shoot it in there as you might think. You kind of have to do it with the, there we go. Oh, no. You kind of, because the flippers are too powerful to just shoot it in, you kind of have to do it off the kicker. All right, so it's going to knock that one down this time. Bam, that's that. Oh, I knew it was going to do that. I saw it coming. All right. We're going to try one more time to get the 3-ball multi-ball going, okay? And we'll specifically try to get the 3-ball multi-ball. Oh. Okay, so there's the first one. Oh, a little bit too far. All right, so now I need the tar pit. Tar pit, baby. Oh. I mean, you can do it the hard way. You can get the multi-ball while you're doing two. I mean, you can still lock one of them. But I didn't lose a ball that time because the one fell back in the outlane. Gotta watch those straight down the middles. Oh. Close. Oh, I got it. It did save it. Did you see that? Got the bounce off the throat back up to the flipper. Oh. I was trying to backhand it. It messed me up. But it's save over that one to the next game. Oh, barely rolled through. Yeah, buddy. I think I know what just happened. I thought I heard something. I heard something, people. I think the bell came loose. I think that's what's going on. So my 10, I'm not getting a... On my 10, I'm not getting a chime at all now. I think the bell came off. Let's see. Did that count? For just a second there, I had all three balls going. All right, we're looking pretty good. I'm gonna tighten the bell back up, and this this pop bumper here is a little bit too thumpery. This thumper bumper. So basically, the little switch that actuates it is so close that sometimes it'll fire whenever one of the other ones fires. A lot of times, like if this one fires and you see like this one fire every once in a while too, the problem isn't that there's something mechanically wrong. The problem is physical. The switch is so close that when this one goes, brrr, that Playfield moves a little bit and it literally just shakes the switch closed. So I'm going to adjust that slightly and I'm going to put the bell back on. I'll bet it fell off or something. It moved or something. I've got a bolt in there and I tightened it up, but I'll bet I didn't get it tight enough and the thing got loose, which is probably why it hasn't been sounding some of the time. So I'm going to do that and I'm going to mess with that and we'll see if it's any better. So I opened it up, and sure enough, the bell had literally fallen off of the 0 to 90 unit and was laying in the very bottom of the cabinet. I thought that's what happened because I thought I heard something fall into the bottom of the cabinet. I thought the only thing that could be is the screw holding the bell on. No, it was the whole bell. So I put it back on, this time with a lock washer. So I mean a nylon nut. So we shouldn't have that problem anymore. Also, I adjusted the pop bumpers ever so slightly. So that's the 10-point bell. That's the one that was off. Much better. Much more uniform. So apparently it was just loose before. Ooh. Now on an EM, it's not uncommon to have it not hit a bell every once in a while, or, you know, to have something act up a little bit. That's just how they are. But it shouldn't be all the time. Can you hear it? Can you hear it peeling away? And the pop bumpers seem to be a little more normal. There we go. Nice. All right. Okay, so that was a test game. But now we're going to play one last regular game. Here we go. I'm going to try to roll it. Nope, not quite. Okay, next time. Oh, too far. Oh, man. I hit the one spot that won't give you any points. Not quite in the volcano. Yeah. Oh. Oh, close. I'm just letting it play itself a little bit. Oh. I like it. I like it a lot. Well, I guess we got to play one more. I still didn't get the 3-ball multi-ball. Oh. Come on now. Oh, I overshot it. It was bad. Not quite the volcano that I was hoping for. Come on, volcano. Oh. Nope. There we go. All right. Got the tar pit. We're already on ball 4, though. You know, if you do it earlier, it's better. You know. And you get in the volcano. Oh, no. All right, we're on ball 5. Oh, so close. Come on, you sucker. Oh, it didn't happen, folks. It didn't happen. You saw the 3-ball multi-ball there for just a minute in an earlier game. But oh well, that's the way that the ball bounces sometimes. So there you go. That is Bally's 4 million BC, designed by the incomparable Ted Zale. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think about it. I think this one's ready to go out the door. Let us know what you think about it. Make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. Do you remember playing this back in the day? Did you enjoy it back in the day? Was it so far back in the day that it felt like it's 4 million BC? I've had a few people tell me they remember when this thing came out. So, that was a while back. That was 50 years ago. So let us know what you think. Make sure to subscribe to us if you haven't already. Thank you to everybody that's been using our Amazon links. If you don't know about that, down at the bottom of the video, there's a bunch of links and stuff. One of them's to Amazon. If you go to Amazon because you're going to buy something, if you click our link before you go, it gives us a tip for sending you there. So thank you to everybody that's been doing that. Also, check out our website, lionsarcade.com. You can see all of our games for sale, and you can also see our parts page where we have some of the things that we use to clean up machines and fix things. And we also have our t-shirts and our coffee mugs and our hoodies and stuff like that that we sell if you want to support the channel in style. And while you're at it, check out my brother Donnie, who is literally my brother. My brother Donnie. The link is down below his YouTube channel here. He's always doing cool stuff over there. So if you like watching me work on old pinball machines, you might like watching Donnie and I work on old buildings. He's got some old rundown buildings in a small town near here that we're trying to fix up and rent out so that we can help revitalize the downtown area. So go check that out. You might enjoy it. And I think we're finally finished with this one. What a cool machine. We'll see you on the next one, which will be starting sooner than you think.